Grace tweeted out Twitch announcement. See you tonight at 8.
Who's that?
In NXT, Santino's daughter.
Oh.
The one that does the beauty pageant gimmick.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know what. I don't even know what her Twitch is. Or what her announcement would be. I have no clue. We're muted. I apologize, guys. We are here. We're talking AEW Dynamite. It is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. Do apologize for being muted there for a second. But as I was saying, I felt like this show was a tale of two shows. You had stuff being built up for the pay-per-view, which is really good, but then you also had just nothing. Just it don't matter for anything stuff, to the point where Tony booked too much. Tony booked too much on this show and had to push the Mariah May Saraya match to next week, even though it was previously announced for tonight. So, yeah. A lot of people not too happy with this show. Not too happy, weirdly, that Will Ospreay is challenging for the AEW Championship at Forbidden Door. Now, I'm not happy with it either, because Forbidden Door, as we have learned in the past, what is this? The third or fourth Forbidden Door? It's the third?
It's the third, yeah.
Third. As we've learned with the last two, it's usually 99% of the time, especially in title matches, an AEW wrestler versus a New Japan wrestler. But this year it's going to be a little different. It's going to be an AEW wrestler versus a non-AEW wrestler. Yet, Swerve's defending against Will Ospreay? What? Why? That makes no sense right now. The fucker just won the International Championship 3 days ago. 3 days ago, he became a champion. And now he's going to go challenge for the world title? It makes no sense, but we got Luke here with us as well. We'll get into all this here in a little bit. But Luke, what did you think of tonight's AEW Dynamite?
Honestly, tonight's show just didn't really do it for me. I'll say that. It didn't really do it for me. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I want to word this first, but to me, it's like, there's a lot of why did this happen? Why didn't this happen? Like, for example, like MJF, your biggest star, who was out for months, you're having him return next week and not tonight.
Don't get me started on that one. So I sent out a tweet, not to cut you off, sorry, but I sent out a tweet saying the exact same thing, and someone goes, "Oh, well, maybe he had a prior engagement." Yeah, you got to try and make an excuse. Anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah, and like, why did we start off with the Mercedes Monet stuff? I guess she won the belt, but
you had to do that so you can do the Sky Blue match tonight. You had to, or else the Sky Blue match wouldn't have made sense. At least they tried to make why she's facing Sky Blue make sense.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think the fans really. I don't think the fans really cared about that.
No one cared. Also, speaking of no one cared, Ryan Satin was there live and said that the crowd has not reacted to a single person where the graphic behind them says CMLL. He said, I'll read the tweet verbatim so I don't get it wrong. But Ryan Satin, who was there live in LA, tweeted, "There's been zero reaction for the CMLL wrestlers that showed up tonight." So,
I mean, the only one that I noticed that actually got somewhat of a reaction was Mystico, because everyone knows who Mystico is. That's the original Sin Cara. But the other guys, I didn't even know who those guys were.
Ryan Satin also had another good tweet. He said, so he's talking about Orange Cassidy here. He said, "Is this theme Jane or Where Is My Mind Again?" Because he came out, because at the pay-per-view, if you watch the pay-per-view, he comes out, they start playing Jane, and then they changed to his old song from the Pixies. Well, tonight, in the first segment he came out to Jane. And then when he came out in the Gauntlet, they played his old music. So what is it? He's got two theme songs?
I'm glad you actually noticed that, because I was kind of confused by it, which I know you don't really pay attention to the theme songs.
I was going to talk about it later. I noticed that one. I noticed that.
Yeah. I was going to mention it because I didn't know if you noticed it, since you said multiple times that you don't really pay attention to theme songs a lot.
Well, sometimes I just don't pay attention during the entrances at all.
But yeah, why two different theme songs? I don't know. I get the part where it's if you use a certain theme song for a special occasion.
Right.
Like how Bryan Danielson will use Final Countdown for big pay-per-view matches.
Well, Final Countdown, you know why he can't use it every week?
Because it costs too much money.
It costs them $200,000 every time they play it. That's a lot of money.
I think it was Matt. Was it Matt Jackson that said that?
Yeah. And that's the real number, I believe. That wasn't just hey, there's a funny thing to say on the pay-per-view. I believe that was the real number. or at least very, very close. But yeah, he's got 2 different theme songs.
Is that even worth like playing that so many times?
I mean, if you're Tony Khan, you got that much money. I'm trying to see if Satin had it.
I don't think WWE would do that.
No.
WWE's got way more money than Tony Khan.
Oh, nah, I wouldn't say that. The Khan family is more rich than WWE. The Khan family as a whole's got more money than WWE.
They had more money than the McMahons, but do they have more money than TKO?
Than what TKO would put into WWE? Yeah. Tony Khan can go spend as much money as he wants and not have to worry. Like that's how much money that family has. Tony can spend whatever he wants and not really have to worry. Hence, why this company's been around for 5 years and never made a single profit. 5 years and never made a single profit.
I mean, that's why CM Punk was asked if AEW would last long. I mean, they're gonna last. They're gonna last as long as Tony Khan is putting money in the company,
right, until Daddy says no more. But no, like what CM Punk said, there's some good people there. I will say that, but they're not running it as a business, a profitable, we're gonna make money business. He said they're running it for fun, basically, not as a business. That was the whole CM Punk thing.
I told my dad that, and he was like, "Well, is that what you want as a fan, though?" Like,
yes, I mean, yes and no. I get why he would ask that question.
It's like, would you want him to like run it to be like for the fans and not have to worry about like running as a business where he's told like you have to run it this way instead of that way?
So that is actually a really good question, and kind of yes, because right now we see like with tonight's show, Tony just throws random stuff out there. Tony just does stuff because he feels like it as a fan. Tony books the show still, for the most part, as a fan. If you're running this show more as a business and you actually have to make decisions on what's best for business, then it's less fan mark matches. It's less, I'm just going to do this because I look. Here, perfect example. He is a big, Tony Khan, Kyle O'Reilly fan. Kyle O'Reilly just recently challenged for the TNT Championship. Lost to Adam Copeland. This Saturday, he's getting an international title shot against Will Ospreay on Collision. He did nothing to earn it. His last match, 2.5 weeks ago now, was a loss with the TNT title on the line. Why is Kyle O'Reilly getting a shot at the international championship now against Will Ospreay this weekend on Collision? Just because Tony wants to book it and see that match.
I mean, yeah, like even when Kyle O'Reilly first signed, I think he used him more as a singles guy than being in a tag team with Bobby Fish.
Yeah, I would rather. AEW is a major national wrestling company. If you're going to be positioned as a major national wrestling company with a TV product, I want your TV product to make sense. I don't want you, and no offense, I don't want you to be a GCW that's just booking random matches to book random matches because you run only a couple shows a month and your storylines don't have to be as congruent, if that's the right word. Consistent? You're a television product. You're booking a TV show, which means we want consistent storylines. We want things that flow and make sense. You're not an indie promotion just running a show every so often saying, okay, this is what we got for the next show. We booked out these guys. We don't have an actual roster, so we're just bringing in whoever. No, that's not what I want from a national major wrestling company with a television product. If you wanted to run an indie promotion, then go run an indie promotion. I felt Lucha Underground had better storytelling than this, but actually, that was actually run by real TV writers, so that's a whole different story.
I honestly miss Lucha Underground.
I do for the most part.
Like season 3 was their best season. Like yes. season four was just okay to me. Like I didn't really care for it. It was probably the worst season.
Well,
season 4.
That's when they didn't know if they were going to keep it going, and they were just booking stuff just to have the product. So hopefully they would get a season 5.
Yeah,
it was more of a we got to just keep this going somehow. So let's just throw stuff out there. I don't like what Tony Khan does now.
No, but season 3 of Lucha Underground, that was awesome.
Yes. But with that, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. And before we get into all that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you are watching live on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well. Hit that donate button. So that way you do know, not to donate, we hit that subscribe button so you know when we go live, post new videos, or post to the community tab. Hit that join button to become a channel member. Whether you only can donate at the $1 tier is greatly, greatly appreciated, whether it's here on YouTube or at patreon.com/PWU Unlimited. And finally, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat or a super sticker. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Heck, trying to get, I don't know, Alan Wake 2, it's only $40 right now. Grand Theft Auto 5, $14.99. Maybe you want to get Ghost of Tsushima, which is now on PC, which some think they may be announcing Ghost of Tsushima 2 tomorrow at the PlayStation State of Play. Go get it right now on the Epic Game Store. And when you do, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, PWU NLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. As far as tonight's AEW Dynamite does go, show itself kicked off immediately. Like, it comes on the air and boom, out comes Mercedes Mone. Like, she's already walking to the ring as soon as the show comes on the air. We're watching, I think it's the season 4, season 5 finale of Big Bang Theory, the first episode with Amy Farrah Fowler. And then boom, we're watching AEW Dynamite. Mercedes is already coming out. Her music's playing, CEO, CEO. It sounded like the crowd didn't chant CEO during the entrance, but eventually she got him to chant it while she was in the ring. Anywho, Mercedes makes her way out. Go for it.
It's kind of hard to tell sometimes, like with her entrance theme,
right,
if the fans are actually chanting it.
So, like, I heard it at first, and then all of a sudden I didn't hear it anymore. So that makes me think that it was just the music, just the theme song, because it went away so just abruptly. That's why I think that they weren't chanting it themselves during the entrance. But when she got in the ring, she's like, say hello to your CEO. And then they briefly, not long at all, but briefly chanted CEO. So,
are you getting bored of the CEO gimmick? Because it feels like it's just a rip-off version of like her big boss gimmick.
She's pushing it harder than when she was like, I'm the boss. I feel like she's trying to get this CEO thing way harder than she ever did with the boss gimmick. And it's, yes, a little annoying. You know what's more annoying is that she's supposed to be a babyface, yet half of her promo is as a heel. That's what's even more annoying.
What would you consider her?
Oh, well, a heel. Because the CEO, the boss gimmick character, 100% is a heel character. It's always been. So every time WWE even tried to make her a heel, a babyface, the tendencies and the things she would do are more akin to a heel than a babyface.
I mean, I didn't really mind her when she was a babyface in WWE. Now, to be fair, I was still a kid though around that time, so I didn't really care.
Right, but like when she was supposed to be a babyface in WWE, and even now, she does the things where it's like she's flaunting, "I'm better than you," and this and that, and I've got the money, or she'll laugh right in your face like a heel would do, and she's got and she does the heelish, Joker, demonic almost laugh, kind of the ha 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 ha. You know, it's all heel stuff. Listen to anybody. Brian Alvarez says it all the time. The boss character, the CEO character, is a heel character that she doesn't change the tendencies of when she's supposed to be a babyface. That's the whole issue. She doesn't try to change at all. She plays the same character when she's supposed to be a babyface or a heel. We also have a super chat here from Falcon Fighter. It says, when will Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin debut in AEW? I thought they would have already. At this point, I don't even know if they're actually signed. Like, it was reported they were signed, but at this point, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like they were signed, but then now Tony Khan's like, I don't know what to do with you.
Exactly. It's WWE 2019 all over again. When they were when they were just signing a bunch of people so AEW couldn't, and then had nothing for them. They throw them down to NXT, do like one match, and then they'd sit for a while.
Like who?
It's a tough one. But I mean, now I gotta think. But there's a lot of people, like, for instance, let's see. Fuck, now I can't remember. Put me on the spot here. But I remember it was like 2019, maybe. Right. It was like 2019 when once Vince realized, oh, this AEW thing ain't a joke, they were signing a lot of different people, but not really using them. Like Keith Lee, it took them forever to use Keith Lee. Chelsea Green, they barely used her that well in NXT. Deonna Purrazzo, they barely used her in NXT, but they signed her up. It was like, remember back in the day when every other month it was, here's the new class to the Performance Center. It's like half of them are all indie wrestlers that you're like, oh, I'm excited. And then Mia Yim was another one that like start and stopped with her a lot, but they signed her up and then put her down in NXT. You know,
I mean, Keith Lee was signed well before like
True.
AEW became a thing, though.
True.
Same with Mia Yim.
I think they were signed like 2017.
Well, I know Mia Yim did the Mae Young Classic. Then right. I think she was signed after.
Right. So the last thing I could find on the Motor City Machine Guns was from about a month and a half ago, and it never said that they were officially signed. This is from bodyslam.net. It says they were finalizing their deal. It says, sources have told me, Cassidy Haynes of bodyslam.net, that AEW and the Motor City Machine Guns are working on finalizing a deal. It was noted that the deal is not going to be finalized for a bit. However, the decision has been made and a deal will be worked out. So, for all we know, maybe that deal has not been signed yet, or it's been signed, but other guys have other things in their lives that they want to do first. Because remember, Alex Shelley's also, a physical trainer? And he's got that job that he does as well. So maybe he's got something with that where he can't come in full time and commit yet. Just an idea there. But again, this was a month ago from Cassidy Haynes of bodyslam.net stating that they are finalizing the deal and nothing has been signed yet. I haven't seen an update since that, other than most people were saying that they were expected to sign.
I know the rumor last I saw that it was they were leaning towards going to AEW.
Right.
That was the last thing I saw.
So as far as this Mercedes, also this Mercedes little segment here felt very rushed. Like they knew they had to get it on and get it off. Mercedes comes out and she goes, Los Angeles. And I'm like, oh my God. Just the way she does that now for every city. And she does it in such a heel way that it's the heel. So she does it. Excuse me. Whoa, I like burped and hiccuped all at the same time. So she does it in like a way, in like a kind of like an annoying way, almost on purpose, if that makes sense. Because you're a heel. You don't want people to like you. You want, people to think, get off my TV. I don't like you. You're annoying, this, that, whatever. And so when she does the whole Los Angeles or whatever city they're in, she's like, Las Vegas. It's just like, okay, come on. Anyways, she comes out and she says, say hello to your CEO and the new TBS champion. She asked if it was worth the wait. And she says, money changes everything. What money? I think you're Mone. Monet don't change nothing. Money does. What that when she said that line like 3 or 4 times now in AEW, money changes everything. But what does that really mean? Her name's not Money. She's not Mercedes Money. She's Mercedes Monet. Or Monet, however they say. They say it multiple different ways, but she's not Mercedes Money. So that line never makes sense to me. Money changes everything. Why? She paid Tony to not let her wrestle for a while? I don't know. She said that they celebrated in her in-ring return. She's the greatest of all time. Monet said that she and Willow tore the house down. And I was like, they had a good match, but I wouldn't say they tore the house down. It wasn't great. It was good. She said, but Willow is too nice. And she could have told her that Chris Statler and Stokely Hathaway were going to turn on her. She said it was blatantly obvious. She said when Nightingale comes back, better than ever, she wants to kick their asses. I'm like, wait, what? You're already setting up you and Willow teaming together? Like, this made no sense to me. She said being the face of TBS puts a huge target on her back. She was then interrupted by Sky Blue on the big screen. Sky Blue revealed that she is the one that turned the lights out and attacked her weeks ago. Sky Blue would then appear in the ring, attack Mercedes from behind, grab the title, and basically say, I want a shot at the belt. So, yeah. They got that on and got that off very quickly before we did see the Young Bucks, the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, and Okada all show up at the building. Then Jack Perry still got the bus, the scapegoat bus. Would have been better if he was driving it, though. But I can tell you, he wasn't driving it. It would have been cool if he was. So they all go walking into the building, and then we get a recap of the pay-per-view. Minus any of the MJF stuff. None of the MJF stuff was shown here on this recap, which was very interesting. This then leads us to our first match of the night, AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland versus Killswitch. And I'm like, okay,
honestly, like,
go for it.
The graphics, like, hype it up. This match actually looked pretty cool.
So they did this last time when the House of the Dragon or whatever the show is came.
What was like? It was like, was it Game of Thrones?
Well, yeah, it's the Game of Thrones spinoff, Game of Thrones House of Dragon. Hot D. What they call it? What the kids call it? Hot D for short.
It was Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that was it. They've used these graphics before to promote that show, and so cool. The graphics are cool. A lot of people were confused going into this match because some thought the title was on the line, some thought it was an eliminator match, but it was neither. It was just a match. It was just a match. And Swerve had a good match. Good is giving it a lot of praise. I thought this match was just okay. That's it.
I feel like
just
it was just
okay.
there.
Yeah, this match didn't need to happen. All this match did was Swerve got his revenge and got to cut Luchasaurus's hair. Or, my bad, Killswitch. Because Killswitch pulled one of his dreads out. Other than that, that's all this was. And then I think the finish was also botched. So we'll get to it. So, Killswitch was in control early on. They go about 2 minutes maybe, and then we go to a break. Strickland then locked in a desperation triangle into a rolling flatliner at one point. Strickland followed this up with an uppercut off the ropes and eventually connected with an impressive brainbuster for a 2. Killswitch avoided a big pressure and hit a headbutt in midair, which actually looked pretty good. There was a choke slam that connected, but Strickland kicked out. Killswitch then grabbed a chair, and then this wasn't good. This wasn't good because he grabs the chair. So Swerve's laying on the apron, and Killswitch grabs the chair, and he slowly goes up, and then he just kind of freezes for a second. And he's kind of just like, where's Prince Nana? Where's Prince? And finally, Prince Nana pulls the chair from his hands. But Prince Nana was late. So they get into the ring. Swerve goes for the house call. Killswitch then caught him and hit him with another choke slam, standing moonsault as well. Killswitch then missed an extinction lariat, and Swerve hit a bounce back German suplex, a house call, and a Swerve stomp. And I'm going to say it right now, I'm not a fan of the Swerve stomp because the Swerve stomp makes the opponent look like the biggest idiot ever. Have I told you why I don't like this move, the way it's executed?
No, I don't think you did.
So, if you are good enough to be sitting up, or like we saw with Christian at the pay-per-view, actually with your arms down, holding yourself up, then you're good enough to move out the goddamn way. It looks so ridiculous when the wrestler's just sitting there staring up at Swerve, waiting and waiting and waiting. Move! Then he misses the move. It's like the old Alberto Del Rio move when he'd put the person in the tree of woe, but then he'd like prop them up so they're holding themselves up on the turnbuckle so that he could jump up and stomp them down with the foot stomp. That's even worse because you're actually holding yourself up waiting for him. This one's still as bad because you're just sitting there literally looking right at him. Move out of the goddamn way. At least when Finn Balor does it, you're completely laid on the ground, sprawled out dead when Finn does his coup de grace. But when they do the Swerve stomp, the wrestler's literally sitting up. So no, I'm not a fan of this move because it makes the opponent look ridiculous, look incompetent, look dumb. But he hits it. He goes for the pin. 1, 2. Ref's hand comes down. It hits for 3, but Luchasaurus kicks out. Swerve then looks pissed. They show Prince Nana, who looks confused. The ref gets a confused look on his face. Swerve then jumps up, kicks Luchasaurus right in the face, and just pins him 1, 2, 3, and he's just dead. Not with the finishing move, but just kicks him in the face and probably jumped on him and said, hey, stay down, is what it looked like. Ref then emphatically counts 1, 2, 3. So I don't know if the finish was messed up and Luchasaurus either wasn't supposed to kick out or was supposed to kick out at the last second and kicked out just slightly too early. Because they'll do that before. All wrestling companies do that, where 1, 2, soon as the 3 hits, then the wrestler kicks out moments after. But I think if that was the plan, I don't know. It looks like Luchasaurus maybe kicked out moments before instead of moments after, if that makes sense. But what do you think of the match itself? Oh, post-match, Nana gives Strickland scissors and he cuts part of Luchasaurus' braid. What do you think of the match itself, though?
I thought the match was okay. It was really just there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see why you don't like the move. I totally forgot about that old Alberto Del Rio finisher. I thought, like, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a cool move because it was like something a little bit different.
Yeah, but once you see it about 5 times and you go, oh, wait, the wrestlers are literally holding themselves up. Just let yourself go, fall back, and then he's going to break his ankles falling down.
Unless they're trying to make it seem like they're trying to escape. That's why they're holding themselves up.
I forget who it was, but I saw it may have been Sheamus one time. It may have been Sheamus one time that did it like that.
Where they tried to escape?
Where it's like he was up there and he was holding on, but then he like reached for his leg to try and pull his leg back, and Alberto got him with it.
I think one that I can think of was him versus Kalisto.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
I remember him and Kalisto having a couple good matches over the U.S. title.
I think the first time I saw the move, it was a tournament match to crown the WWE champion when the belt was relinquished by Seth Rollins.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think that's the first time I saw that move.
By Alberto?
Yeah.
I'm trying
Unless
to
he
think.
did it like way before then.
Oh no, that was always his finish, like years and years before that.
I thought his finisher was always the cross arm breaker. That was like his main.
Well, I mean, he was doing the stomp years before. But I'm trying to think when Seth.
I just never really noticed it.
I was trying. Was he was there when Seth was champion? Well, I guess 2014.
That's when he returned. He won the U.S. belt off Cena. That's when he returned.
I remember that. It was the Hell in a Cell.
It was the Hell in a Cell show.
It was the Hell in a
facing Kane.
It was the Hell in a Cell, I believe, in L.A. because I had friends that were there.
Yeah, because Seth faced Kane for the championship. Seth retained, and I think he had to relinquish the belt like a week or two later because he got hurt at a house show.
Yes, overseas on a European tour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like Alberto returned just when Seth's reign was coming to an end.
Yeah. Did the old John Cena Oprah challenge.
They had Zeb Coulter as his manager.
Yeah, that was weird. So We go backstage, and John Moxley is there. John Moxley puts over the experience of Rocky Romero ahead of their match tonight. Moxley said it's a dumb idea to take this match with such a bad arm, but that's what champions do. They showed up instead of, and I guess he was making fun of Rocky or something. He said they show up and do their job instead of pissing away their time at Disney World. And I go, hold on, you're in LA, Disneyland, not Disney World. Anyways, I doubt Moxley cares. Moxley then runs down his upcoming schedule and says that it's the same as it's always been. He'll stand at the top of AEW, New Japan, and anywhere else he damn well pleases. So then we got the TV time with Chris Jericho. This is just the highlight reel.
It's the Chris Jericho learning tree.
Oh my God. Did you see the shirt? Yes. He's Chase U. He's got his own school now. Fucking Chase U.
Was it like Learning Tree University or something?
LTU, Learning Tree University. There's a shirt with a crest. It's just Chase U. Like, come on.
Come on. Okay, they have to be copying Chase U. They have to be.
So,
I mean, I get the Learning Tree. Like, it makes sense. Like,
right.
Like Learning Tree University. Like,
no.
Like, I get it. Like, you're teaching. But it almost feels like you're copying Chase U with that.
Yeah, that's what everybody has said. Everybody's put the comparison on it today. As soon as the shirt came out and then what they did on television. Anyways, Big Bill is like the MC or the hype guy or whatever you want to call it. Is Guillermo. He introduces Jericho to the ring. There's a big TV screen. There's a big tree, fake tree, of course, and green grass on the thing, and there's also a podium because the teacher stands behind the podium, or the professor stands behind the podium during the lecture. So Bill said, if there's one thing that Jericho has taught me from the beginning, it's that even though the leaves come down in the fall, they always grow back in the spring, stronger and better than ever. Jericho comes out and thanks the Redwood and also the fans. And he popped me for a second when he goes, the fans, all of our branches. I laughed so hard when he called the fans his branches. I was like, okay, that's clever. I liked that one. That one got me. The branches, all my branches, that one got me. I like that one.
Like my branches are the fans?
Yes. I'm the learning tree, and the branches, come and follow, or whatever you want to say. But no, calling the fans the branches, I like that a lot. Jericho then cackles as the fake laugh and then says how tough his title defense was at Double or Nothing, and eventually introduces the bounty hunter, Brian Keith. And this is when this got even worse. Brian Keith was not good here. Not good here.
I didn't like his promo here.
No, I didn't either.
This guy needs work.
Yeah.
On the promo. Like, he's good in the ring. Like,
oh yeah.
Like the reason why he got signed was because of like his in-ring work. Like, fans were even like saying like AEW should sign this guy because of his in-ring work.
I've seen him a lot because he does a lot of California shows. So I've seen him a couple times, maybe not a lot, but I've seen him a couple times and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's good. This guy's really good.
I noticed him from DPW, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of guys recently that I've been noticing on the indies, like before they went to like a promotion like a TNA or AEW. Like, I think trying to think of who. Like, I know before when Joe Hendry did like his first stint in TNA or / Impact, I noticed him in ICW.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
People are like
believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh hell yeah!
NXT. Oh hell yeah!
Bring him down to Scotland for Clash of the Castle.
Maybe. But I'm gonna say right now, I believe in Joe Hendry.
That guy is so over right now.
Joe Hendry, first person I ever interviewed, first wrestler I ever interviewed.
He was?
Yep. Me and Nick did a interview. We did like together. We interviewed him. First one ever we did on the channel.
Huh.
But yeah, no.
I didn't even know that.
Bring Joe Hendry to, everyone was saying it last night. If there's an NXT TNA working relationship, we need Joe Hendry. We need Joe Hendry.
I'm trying to think of some other ones that they could do. Would it feel weird if they brought in Mustafa Ali as the X Division champion?
No, I would actually love it. Be like, hey, I used to go here, Now I found better pastures over there. But I'm still going to come here and show you guys that, what, basically he can come back and go, here's what you guys are missing out on. Here's how good I actually am. I could be this good, but you never let me. You can do a story like that.
I know Cedric Alexander teased on Twitter.
A lot of people have been going like, oh, I could do this. I could do that. Let's do that. Natty wants Jordan Grace. Bailey wants Jordan Grace. I think the whole WWE is waiting for her contract to expire so they can sign Jordan Grace. They want her bad.
That's probably why they're letting her do stuff.
They're paying her 6 figures. She's getting a big ass payday. And then I could be wrong here, but I would think that, they reach out to TNA, say, hey, can we use so-and-so, or can you send us somebody? And that's part of their TNA deal. I would think, but no, the word is that WWE's paying her themselves. So it's like, oh, okay. They're paying her for this. It's not just like, we're going to send you down there as part of your deal. So,
Worlds collide. TNA versus NXT.
yeah, that'd be cool. No,
give us that show.
No. Have you seen what Jordan Grace is trying to pitch or push? She's got a shirt. It's called the Prohibited Portal.
Oh, basically another term for Forbidden Door.
Instead of the Forbidden Door, it's the Prohibited Portal, and it's the shirt it's a drawing of her from behind walking through a portal. Or walking up to, about to go through a portal on the shirt. The Prohibited Portal.
They should do that, but instead of have the portal be like the Doctor Strange portal almost.
Well, you can't have it too close because then Marvel's going to be like, hey, you're copying us. Fucking stop selling our shirt. Stop selling the shirt. Too much of a ripoff.
It doesn't have to look exactly like it.
Right. But I get what you're saying. I mean, it's kind of the same. It's a blue portal, but whatever. So this damn Brian Keith. Jericho asked what made Keith want to get sucked into the Jericho vortex and become a disciple of the learning tree. He's just throwing out buzzwords, like buzzword after buzzword after buzzword. Keith then recognized the lack of respect for Chris Jericho and AEW and couldn't believe more didn't jump on this opportunity. Crowd then tells Keith to shut up, and he starts yelling at all the fans, you need to respect Jericho, and you need to shut up, and you this, and blah, blah, blah. And he just starts going off, yelling at fans, and then Jericho's got to calm him down. He said, the lesson learned today, if you want something, you go and grab it. As Jericho calls him a bad man. And Bill goes, or would you say a bad apple? Because a bad apple doesn't fall too, no, he says, a bad apple doesn't fall too far from the learning tree. I was like, oh, Lord. Jericho laughed. They all laughed. And Jericho said that Brian Keith can stay under the learning tree as long as he wants. Then this got even worse. Hook comes out. He storms down and is stopped by Samoa Joe. Joe steps in front of him, whispers something in his ear, and then Hook's just like, oh, okay, never mind, and leaves with Joe. What? Weird. And the segment's just over. You go back to the ring and Jericho's just like, all right, thank you. Have a good night, everybody. Yeah. And then it just cuts. What?
Hook Joe.
I'm like, oh, and then we'll talk about mess ups. They fucked up and briefly started showing a Stephanie Vickers video. And then all of a sudden, Excalibur's got to they cut really quick. It was weird. Excalibur puts over the reigning CMLL Women's Champion and the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. And then we're like, oh, well, we know where this is going. So I'm pretty sure at Forbidden Door, it's Mercedes Mone and Stephanie Vickers. And if I'm just placing bets here, this match is only happening so Mercedes can win that title that she was supposed to win last year when she got hurt in the match with Willow. So the Mercedes can come out of Forbidden Door most likely as a double champ. But then you got another belt being recognized in AEW. Granted, this belt was last year for a little bit, but still. I'm not a big fan. It's okay if you do it every so often, but I'm not a big fan of so many wrestlers having multiple championships because it devalues the titles. When you've got one person doing it and one person that's done it, but no one else has done it for 4 years, 5 years, then that's one thing. But when you got multiple people with multiple belts, it almost makes having titles not even mean anything at all. I don't know what your thoughts would be on that. What are your thoughts on, also before you get to that, Meth Rollins with a super chat says, who else joins Chris Jericho? That's a good question. I don't know. Do we maybe get anybody from the JAS? Like, who else could join Jericho? I mean, you got to look at both the AEW and the Ring of Honor roster, which I would rather look at the Ring of Honor roster than just the AEW roster.
Aren't those like both the same thing, though?
Not necessarily, because there are guys listed on the Ring of Honor roster that are not listed on the AEW roster. But if, I'm looking here.
Dalton Castle, maybe?
Maybe, but Dalton Castle is such a good character that I feel like him and Jericho will be stepping on each other's toes with their charisma and stuff.
And Helico?
I could see that one. That one could work. Top Flight, maybe. Oh, Action Andretti. Go back all the way to when Action Andretti beat him that one time.
I mean, I think I pitched that like a few weeks ago because, Chris Jericho was the one that got Action Andretti signed.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that said, like, we need to sign this guy because he's
right.
Because Jericho viewed him as the next 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yep.
Imagine him and Big Bill as a tag team.
That'd be cool. I'm just looking here. Who else maybe from either roster? Tony Nese, maybe?
Would you want to do like a tag team or maybe like a women's wrestler?
Yeah, if you look at Jericho's groups that he's already had, kind of random. I mean, yeah, you do need your tag team. I think in every Jericho group, there's been a tag team, like 2.0 or Santana and Ortiz.
Top Flight, maybe?
I was thinking that, but then they'd have to go heel, and Top Flight's just super great baby faces. And Andretti is somebody who it's like, yeah, he's always been a baby face, but I feel like if they turn him heel, it's not going to be bad, I guess you would say. I don't think fans would really, thinking of heel team, Private Party.
Well, I was just about to say that, Private Party.
I was trying to think of a heel tag team, Private Party. Heel tag team, they're not doing much with right now, Private Party. Workhorse. I was thinking, actually, no, you know who would actually fit with this gimmick? The Workhorsemen.
Are they in Ring of Honor?
Yes.
Who, JD Drake and
Anthony Henry. Anthony Henry returned, I think, last week or the week before from injury.
They'd fit actually pretty well.
From the way this gimmick is and the way they've been in the past, they would fit. And they're a heel tag team. Well, sometimes they work as baby faces, but for the most part, they're done heel stuff. But yeah.
Would you add a women's wrestler?
I don't know who. Actually,
Anna Jay?
No. For comedy reasons, because she's super serious, but Jericho would try to get her to not be as serious because they get Layla Hirsch.
Yeah, what about Diamante, I hope I'm saying that right.
Diamante,
yeah.
Maybe. But I just feel like Layla Hirsch going in there is like the amateur wrestler, the shoot fighter, serious wrestler, or whatever, and Jericho trying to get her to liven up and, take things less serious and have fun. Would be really funny, actually.
Or what about Marina Shafir?
I mean, that would kind of be the same as Layla Hirsch, but I feel like Layla Hirsch would do it better. We've seen Layla try to cut promos, and it's no good. Layla Hirsch, never really, so I don't know, but no, I don't want Marina to do it. I mean, another one who, from a character standpoint, or not a character standpoint, but somebody that I think would embrace it well, if you really want to go that route, Rachel Ellering. She would embrace the gimmick and the character, just like Big Bill has. I think she would, fully commit with the gimmick.
Or Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, hell no. That would not work at all. I'll tell you that right now. Nope.
I mean, I feel like they should have her work more AEW than Ring of Honor.
Oh, they should. I agree. But no, if we're looking at like how Big Bill has committed to the gimmick so like perfectly, I feel like a Rachel Ellering could do the same thing. So let me move on to Jon Moxley versus Rocky Romero in an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. This match just wasn't actually that good at all. You would think Jon Moxley, Rocky Romero, oh, we're going to get a hoss fight. Nope. This match just wasn't very good. They actually struggled. I felt like, at least. So Rocky Romero wasted no time attacking the champion right at the bell, hitting a tope before targeting the bad arm. In the ring, Romero tried a suplex, but the size advantage of Moxley allowed for a reversal and a suplex. And I say the size advantage because that's what commentary said. Yet, Moxley's not that much bigger, if really any bigger than Rocky Romero. Is Moxley really that much bigger than Rocky?
No, not really, no.
But they said, oh, Moxley was able to use his size advantage to get the reversal on Rocky Romero. And I'm like, what? What size advantage? Anyways, Moxley then punted the back of Rocky and then had dropped some anvil elbows as he wanted a superplex, but Romero wrenched at the arm, the injured arm, and then did a double stomp off the top. Romero then stayed zoned in on the arm throughout the commercial break. Moxley at one point bit free, yes, I said that, bit free out of the corner when things returned and hit a one-arm superplex for a reset. There was a striking exchange that ensued as Romero thought that he had the upper hand until Moxley exploded out with a cutter. Romero then fought back with a tornado DDT into a cross arm breaker. Moxley then spun out into a bulldog choke. Romero snapped it free, snapped the bad arm, that is, and then hit a rolling arm bar out of the corner. Moxley then got to his feet and stomped free. There's desperation kicks here from Romero, who was leveled with the Discus King Kong Lariat, and then Moxley hit the Death Rider for the pin. So, I mean, the match wasn't horrible, but I didn't think it was all that great. It was just a match that we didn't need at all. And it didn't, like, you look at the two guys and you go, oh, this match is going to be good. Oh, I can't wait. And then it was just there. It was a nothing happening match. What'd you think?
Yeah, it didn't really feel all that special. I'm really curious to see who Moxley's going to defend the belt against at Forbidden Door.
I don't know, because his next defense is against Evil at Dominion. When is Dominion? Is that before or after Forbidden Door?
It's always before.
It should be first.
Yeah, normally it's before.
Let me see. Dominion 2024. Oh, it's the same night as Battleground, NXT Battleground, June 9th.
Oh, there's gonna be some competition there.
Well, no, because technically this match is going to air the night before, overnight here in America. So it's going to be almost like 24 hours before it, if you really think about it. So this match is actually going to start. We've got a start time here. Usually these shows start at like 11 Pacific. So if it says the 9th, then it's like 11 Pacific on the 8th or midnight on the 9th. So, yeah. So this show will be well before it.
I wonder what the main event of Battlegrounds is going to be.
Main event is either going to be Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez, or most likely Trick Williams and Ethan Page. I think they go with the NXT title.
They should do Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez as the main event.
Should, but also, like, you would think, oh, that's got the most buzz, but this Ethan Page stuff has got just as much buzz, I feel.
It does, but I feel like it's more big of a deal to have a TNA wrestler challenge for the NXT women's belt.
True, but when you look at the past, it's very rare when they let the NXT women's title main event.
Yeah, but we've never seen that in a while. Just do it at Battleground, honestly.
I mean, I would, but I'm just going off of what we've seen in the past, and usually it's the NXT title that's the focus, so.
Yeah. I'm sure Shawn Michaels might have the women's match be the main event.
There's a possibility. So we move forward. Go for it.
I don't know if you tweeted it, but like someone tweeted, like they retweeted like a video that Tony Khan like made on like TNA television.
Oh, a bunch of people.
Like,
I did at one. I did as well. It's basically Tony Khan saying this aired on Impact Television. Basically, Tony Khan saying that, you know, we got all this big stuff coming up with AEW, and, you know, TNA works with us, and we also work with New Japan, and it's us versus them. But I don't have to say who them is. You already know. Well, as soon as them is ready, and my tweet was, the moment them is ready to play ball, TNA would rather pick them than you.
Yeah, I laughed at that. That was hilarious.
It was 3 years ago in March. So it was a little over 3 years ago. It was hyping up Double or Nothing, I think it was. No,
that's when they were like
Revolution, hyping up Revolution.
That's when they were like doing stuff with the Impact world title.
Yeah. It was when they would run the Tony Khan, he felt like he was drunk ads with Tony Schiavone on Impact every week. When Impact was on Tuesdays, and they'd be like, tomorrow night on Dynamite, we have a great show for you. And here's AEW President Tony Khan. And Tony always had the sunglasses on, and he always came off like he was drunk.
Or hungover.
Yeah. And so he was like, it's us versus them. It's us, AEW, and Impact Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. But I don't have to tell you who them are. And I'm like, oh, well, TNA ain't working with you no more. You're working with them. Whatever working with them actually ends up meaning, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, like,
because right now, literally, all we've seen is the Jordan Grace. We haven't seen anybody else, so I don't know exactly what all happens with this.
I would love to see Trick Williams versus Moose.
Oh, I said that last night. I thought it was going to be Moose revealed as the attacker. Especially when the lights went out, because Moose's entrance has got the lights go out. Like the lights go down for Moose's entrance.
I thought Ethan Page was just as good, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. But if it was going to be some sort of a TNA tie-in, I would have picked Moose. But Ethan Page is signed, even though he says he's not. Who do you think you are? Scott Hall and Kevin Nash?
Did you hear Vic Joseph say, wait, I thought he was an AE, and then Booker's like, whoa.
I thought he was an AE. Whoa, Vic. Yeah. That wasn't done by accident. That was on purpose. They're going to play him up as the outsider, which is very, very interesting. Anyways, Don Callis, the Don Callis family. Don Callis makes his way out to the ring. He gets booze in the building. He announces Orange Cassidy to the ring, saying that when he sees Orange, he sees himself. Excalibur said that the last person to be booed this loud in the Kia Forum was Larry Bird. I love that reference. Cassidy then came to the ring, and Callis, and said that Callis said that this was the moment everybody has been waiting for. Callis then said, you are a star, a big star in this industry, and I want to help you present yourself as bigger than you actually are. I am presenting you with a contract to join the Don Callis family. And so Cassidy grabs the contract. After, for some reason, he took the microphone and put it in his jacket pocket, which was weird, but anyways. He takes the contract, and like a sloth, even slower than this, slowly rips the contract. And I think it was Taz goes, hey, wait, I would have at least listened to what the money offer was. I thought that was funny. He rips up the contract. He throws it all over the ring. Callis then spun around and said, no one says no to me. Callis then took his glasses off before Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander would walk down to the ring. Hathaway said there's nothing about Cassidy he likes, and he's just like Willow Nightingale. Statlander said that on behalf of her best friend, he happily accepts Callis's offers to join the family. Trent Beretta then appears, and Cassidy gets laid out. Hathaway and Statlander then walk to the back as Beretta busts Cassidy open and then screamed that he hated him before holding his arm up and gave a huge hug to Don Callis. They did the best friends hug spot. So, yeah, what many expected, Trent joining the Don Callis family. We're also told that Will Ospreay will be defending his international championship. They said, speaking of the Don Callis family, this Saturday on Collision, Will Ospreay will defend the international championship against Kyle O'Reilly. What did you think of all this? Also, before that, I missed the thing. Samoa Joe and Hook were in the back, and basically they were just like talking about Hook's got stuff to learn from Joe. What did you think of the Don Callis segment?
I mean, I pretty much expected Beretta to join the Don Callis family.
Everybody did.
I was kind of weirded out. I was like, why did Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander come out and say like,
She said on behalf of my best friend. So is she still cool with Trent? Are they joining the family as well? I don't know. That was weird.
It'd be kind of weird if Stokely did, because now it's like now you have two managers here.
Again, like I said at the start of this show felt way overbooked.
It did.
Trying too much at once. So we go to the back. Renee Paquette's with Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia, who said that he's tired of being stuck in the same place as he's spinning his wheels. Garcia said that it's time to roll up the red carpet, climb the ranks, and take the international title. And I said, wait, what? The rankings? Climb the fucking rankings? What's Sky Blue do to climb the rankings to get a TBS title shot? Nothing. She's getting a shot tonight. So screw your rankings. Go attack the international champion and you'll get an international title shot. That's what we've learned. You attack the champion and you get a title shot. And I'm like, yeah, no. This didn't do it for me. You're gonna do this shit where you give random title matches and then still bring up the fucking rankings? Yeah, no. No. Any thoughts?
The rankings don't even matter anyway.
I don't think they ever mattered other than like the first 6 months of the company. Maybe first year. Maybe.
It was the first year. I know. I'm pretty sure like the year Cody left, they did not matter at all.
Well, they stopped mattering when Cody started just doing all them open challenges. And then it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but at least when Cody did the open challenges, he was facing people that would potentially get signed. It was like guys outside of AEW.
Yeah.
Like Ricky Starks, Eddie Kingston.
Very true.
Who else was there?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Was Matt Cardona one?
No, Matt Cardona came in and helped Cody. But he never, A, got signed, and B, challenged him for the belt. So we then get Mercedes Moné's first defense of the TBS title. And I will say this match felt rushed. This match felt like we got to get it in and get it out. We don't got time. Like we're late in this show and oh crap. So Moné avoided the early charge of Sky Blue and fired a forearm in the corner. Moné then hit a springing arm drag and a drop kick for a 1 as Blue was sent outside with a head scissor. And there was a Meteora off the apron by Moné that connected, but only got a 2 back inside. Blue then fired off a kick between the ropes and a draping neck breaker to gain control in the picture-in-picture break. Moné then battled back after the commercial break with a few corner kicks and a sunset flip, Meteora for a 2. There was a backstabber that hit, but Moné took too long and Blue cut her off in the corner with a cheeky Nando's kick. Moné, however, avoided a powerbomb and hit a Hurricane Rana, but Blue responded with a hurt donut. Moné then dodged the TKO, and both ladies kind of traded kicks for a little while. Blue wanted the code blue. Moné countered, Moné maker, and pinned her to pick up the victory. After the match, the NJPW Strong Women's Champion, CMLL's Stephanie Vicker, would walk out on the ramp, basically telling us this is your match for Forbidden Door. What'd you think of all this?
I mean, the match itself was okay. But yeah, we basically kind of knew this was happening when we saw that first video.
Also, Sean Ross Sapp wouldn't stop tweeting out Stephanie Vicker's there. Here's a Stephanie Vicker video. Here's a Stephanie Vicker image. Like, we knew she was there because Fightful just kept telling us all night.
Do you think it's going to be like at Forbidden Door, it's going to be like both titles on?
I think it's both belts on the line just so Mercedes can win the title that she was supposed to win last year. That's exactly what it's going to be.
I honestly wonder when New Japan will actually like tell AEW. I don't know if they ever will. But I wonder like when they'll finally tell AEW, be like, hey, like we can no longer have like all your guys like holding like so many of our titles.
Well, it's not really that many. I mean, it's really right now only Moxley.
Well, Moxley, sure, Mercedes as well.
Or it's probably gonna get it, but it's like as of right now,
if there's anyone else. Though.
No,
like
it's just as of right now, it's only Moxley. Moxley's the only AEW wrestler with a New Japan title. But I get where you're coming from, because there was a time where, you know, AEW wrestlers had a lot of non-AEW championships.
FTR.
They had the AAA tag titles.
They had AAA and the... I'm surprised New Japan was actually okay with that.
Well, didn't they drop the New Japan titles pretty, like, quickly after, though?
No, they had them for like a couple months.
Because I don't fully remember all that. That was kind of a hazy period when, like, a bunch of AEW guys were just doing so much stuff that I couldn't keep up. That was when Tony Khan was letting his guys go out and do just anything and everything at any time.
No, because FTR, they had the AAA tag titles for forever. Then they won the New Japan titles at Forbidden Door. That's when they had AAA, Ring of Honor, and the IWGP Heavyweight titles.
Right. No, I remember that. I just don't remember them having the IWGP for that long. But I could be wrong.
They lost the AAA titles in December that year to like Dragon Lee and Jalistico.
It was Dragon Lee and Jalistico, and then immediately Dragon Lee goes, "Oh, I'm going to WWE. Let's vacate the belts." I remember that.
And then after they lost those belts, then they lost the IWGP titles at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. See, I remember that too. I just, for some reason, thought they got the AAA belts right before Wrestle Kingdom is what I was thinking, but I'm wrong.
No. Because that's when they had all three belts at once, and everybody was like, all right, when are they winning the AEW tag titles?
Yeah, that was weird. So, Renee Paquette, go for it.
I think I remember, like, I think it was Conan said, like, when they took the AAA tag titles FTR and put them on, like, Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee was going to announce that he was signing with WWE. I think Conan said that Tony Khan was actually pissed off about that.
I believe so, yes. Because they were losing technically to a WWE guy.
Yeah.
Yep. So we go to the back with Renee Paquette. She's outside the trainer's room trying to get a word on Will Ospreay. I don't know why I said that. Orange Cassidy. This is when Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander would come up instead, take the mic from her, and tell her to leave. Hathaway called Willow Nightingale pathetic for being 30 years old and thinking Disneyland is a magical place. Hey, fuck you, Stokely. It is. It really is. I love Disneyland. It's my favorite place to go in the world. Whenever someone says vacation, I go, oh, let's go to Disneyland. Hence why I used to have season passes to Disneyland. Used to go every other month. I'd go more if I didn't live 4 hours away.
For me, it's the Bahamas.
Never been.
I went there in second grade, and I've always wanted to go back ever since.
Nice.
I mean, Disneyland was cool, but like, I feel like every time I go, it's always like so hot and I get so sweaty, which I know that's the point.
I mean, yeah. I think the best time to go to Disneyland is November, December. It's not hot. It's holiday. So the park's got the special stuff for Thanksgiving and Halloween. So like October to January, in my opinion, is the best time to go to Disneyland. Because you're going to hit Halloween time, then you're going to hit the specialty fall treats, and then you're going to go into Christmas time. It's all great. I remember they used to have a area in the back of the park. It's gone now because they demolished this area for a Star Wars. But they used to have a place in the back of the park that had like a big theater stage and seating and everything. And during Halloween time, we would take the kids back there, and like Goofy and Mickey and Donald would be back there, and you can make Halloween masks with different characters. So they'll like color them and draw with you, and kids loved it.
I feel like during the summertime, it's always like too crowded there and it's too hot.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I've been plenty of times in the summer dying.
Yeah.
So, where was I? Hathaway said the catalyst for all of this was the four-way a few weeks ago. How Statlander said that she desperately wanted the TBS championship and Nightingale didn't listen. Oh, so you're mad that Willow actually fought in that match. So you thought Willow should have just sat down and let Chris beat her? Yeah, no. Anyways, he said that Statlander has done nothing but do for others. She gave both of her knees for this business. Statlander then says that she's had multiple knee injuries, and while bitches in the back go home for much less, and he's not talking about the women. Statlander said that she did something for herself for once and then got booed for it. Statlander has only been there for... Statlander says she's only been here to be the bodyguard for others. Whenever somebody has a problem or needs someone to stand up for them, I'm always there to clean up their message. No longer am I the protector. Everyone needs to protect themselves from me. Who is she talking about, or are they talking about, when she says, well, the bitches in the back go home for far less, and I'm not just talking about the women? Who are they talking about?
Like far less, you mean?
Yeah. Like, people take time off because they're hurt when they're not really hurt, is what he meant. Because he's like, Willow had multiple knee injuries, and is still here. It was a weird line. Like, who are they taking a jab at? Because the line was, and I'll read it again. Statlander has come back from multiple knee injuries, while bitches in the back go home for much less. And we're not talking about just the women.
I mean,
John,
honestly,
hold on. John Diaconic didn't watch the show, did he? He said, what are they going to do with the TNT champion? You didn't watch the show, did you? They literally outlined the entire process of crowning the next TNT champion. What?
I think they're just trolling.
Anyways, we'll get to that next. So they show footage of MJF's return and then say, MJF will be back on the show next week. What? Biggest fucking star. And he's not even on the next show. He's not even on the next 3 shows. Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. The next Dynamite, we finally get MJF. What?
You should have main evented Dynamite tonight.
Not main evented. I wouldn't have main evented, but been like early on or at the top of the hour. He should have been at the top of the hour, the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
So then the Elite come out. The Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada, and Jack Perry. They all get separate entrances as Okada talks first. The crowd starts chanting for CM Punk, and he says, shut up, bitches. I laughed so hard. Perry is getting nuclear, almost Dominic Mysterio heat, but not quite. Is getting booed. He said the Elite run this shit, as Tony Khan and Kenny Omega picked their dream team, but Perry took out the Dragon and pinned Bryan Danielson. Nicholas then put over their Reebok shoes and said Okada and Perry's performance was so unbelievable at the pay-per-view, they've come bearing gifts. So they cut to the big screen, and they show this Lamborghini, and the license plate says Rainmaker. They cut around to the front, and there's like a piece of paper on it that says to the Rainmaker from the Young Bucks. And Okada is just like, oh my God, it's a dream. Is it real? It's a dream. Thank you. Thank you. Is this real? It's a dream. And he's like fake crying. I thought this was so good. Okada came off so over the top in the best of ways. And Nick goes, yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it. And the crowd literally starts for a second chanting the you deserve it for Okada. This was actually really, really good. I liked this. Matthew then said that he takes partial blame for what happened to Adam Copeland. And people said that he told them break a leg before the match, and then, well, he did. So he wishes him a speedy recovery. But as the EVPs, you have to make tough choices. And therefore, Adam Copeland has been stripped of the TNT title. And the fucking crowd in LA boos. And I go, wait, why are you booing? This man's going to be gone for 4 to 6 months, and you just want him to keep the belt? So the belt's going to be gone for 4 to... No. Idiots booing, I would say. They then said, thankfully, a new champion is needed, and they know just the guy. And then said the guy that got the win of his career at Double or Nothing, the scapegoat, your new TNT champion, Jack Perry. Jack climbs the ropes and celebrates. He's like, yeah. And then out comes Christopher Daniels, old CD, who was fired a few weeks back. He said that, well, He's got a new job. He was rehired by Tony Khan, and Tony Khan has named him an interim executive vice president, which was the dumbest fucking thing they could have said. Like, interim, so we know that you're not a real EVP.
Or what does that mean? Like, Kenny's no longer
Like
EVP?
Well, no, it just means I'm an EVP for now. Like, I'm not a real EVP, but I can make decisions. So we think. But then he literally tells us moments later, and any announcement I make actually comes from that man in the back, Tony Khan. So Tony realizes that he's not good on the mic and doesn't want to be an actual on-screen authority figure. So now Christopher Daniels is his mouthpiece. Christopher Daniels is that authority figure that Tony Khan doesn't and feels like he can't be on television. That's all this is.
I don't know if this is the way I would have brought back Christopher Daniels.
He is the rehire power. If you get the joke. You get the joke? The rehire power.
Like, the way I would have brought him back, or I have no clue when Kenny's coming back. What if Kenny came back? It's like, if no one knew, but like, what if Kenny or maybe Tony Khan could have been like, I brought back all the people that you guys fired that shouldn't have been fired.
But didn't they only fire Daniels?
But they could have gone, like, build this up further. They could have fired somebody else.
True.
Like, what if they fired Kota Ibushi?
That would have been funny.
It's like, he's friends with Kenny, so we're going to get rid of Ibushi.
Right. But no, you didn't get my joke about he's the rehire power.
I kind of get it. I don't know the reference, but.
So, you remember back in the day, I don't know if you wouldn't have saw this live or anything, but they did a story where Austin was like, there was a higher power running WWE, and
the Vince.
And then Vince is like, it was me, Austin. It was me all along.
I know that.
Well,
I know that.
The original plan was for Christopher Daniels to play the higher power, not it be Vince. But then they realized it would have more of an impact if it was Vince. So that's why you got the joke of he's the rehire power.
Yeah. I have heard it was supposed to be Daniels, but
yes, Christopher Daniels was the one that Bruce Pritchard pitched to be the higher power. And then eventually they realized, no, if it's Vince all along, that would make more sense with the Austin storyline.
Wasn't Christopher Daniels always under the cape, like, for like the storyline stuff, and then they switched it to Vince?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe so. So Christopher Daniels then says, we are going to crown a new TNT champion, but we're going to run a little tournament here. We're going to have qualifying matches over the next couple of weeks that will lead to Forbidden Door. If you win your qualifying match, you will then fight for the vacant title at Forbidden Door in a ladder match. He said in these matches, no outside interference, no seconds allowed at ringside. And the matches will begin this Friday on Friday Night Dynamite in the greatest city I've ever known, right here in Los Angeles. And he meant Friday Night Rampage, but this guy got too excited and said Friday Night Dynamite.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, wait, what?
The Elite get pissed off. And they said that they'll tell Daniels how proud they are to have him. They go and tell Daniels how proud they are to have him back. They then get all mad and jump out of the ring when the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass's music hit. The Elite pumped the brakes in the segment. There was a little face-off, and then the segment just ended. Like, why did the Acclaimed come out? Can you tell me?
The Acclaimed versus the Young Bucks for the tag titles.
Why? For what? They just lost the trios titles recently. They've done nothing to earn this. They teased it, but and for where? Where? Forbidden Door? So it's more AEW versus AEW? Change the goddamn name from Forbidden Door to Our Door or something. I don't know.
I feel like the whole reason why they did Forbidden Door in the first place, because at the time they did it, the term was so popular that Tony Khan decided to make it into a pay-per-view.
Well, you know who came up with the term, right?
Who?
Jericho. Jericho was the first one to say it. He worked the New Japan show, was doing the backstage interview, and he goes, I'm here. I came through this Forbidden Door to fight Tanahashi. Jericho was the first one to say it, and Tony Khan ran with it. Jericho came up with the name Forbidden Door. He just randomly said it in a backstage interview in New Japan.
Yeah, but then like in 2022,
I know this is probably a troll comment, but Kaiwan in the YouTube chat, no, they're not ladder matches for the qualifying matches are not ladder matches, you doofus. They're qualifying for a ladder match at the end of this mini tournament or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, they're not all ladder matches. And then he deletes his message because he knew he was wrong. Yeah, no. The match at Forbidden Door for the title will be a ladder match, but you have to win your qualifying match to get to the ladder match. Anyways, go on.
I know like in 2022, like when Mickie James was like the Knockouts champion and she like and then she like won the Rumble.
Right.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's when the Forbidden Door term became so popular." Because Mickie James, like while she was working for Impact, she went into WWE like as like the Knockouts champion. That's when like the whole Forbidden Door term like became so popular.
Right, but Jericho's the one that came up with the phrase before, and then other people just started using it for other things until Tony Khan's like, I'm gonna trademark it and make it a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So
and I guess Jordan Grace trying to use like a different term for
she's trying to use the prohibited portal.
That's a good term for WWE to use, honestly.
She got a shirt for it as well. Prohibited portal. So Swerve Strickland's back. Go for it.
That's a cool name for a premium live event for them.
I don't know if they would use the name, but it's a cool phrase.
I would stick with Worlds Collide for that.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
NXT versus TNA, Worlds Collide.
That'd be awesome. Because you use Prohibited Portal as a pay-per-view name, and then everyone's gonna go, oh, copy in AEW, which is probably what it would be. But if you just use Worlds Collide, it's like, oh, we've seen that already. They've done that, like NXT versus NXT UK, or they did, what was it? NXT 205 Live. Maybe
in NXT UK.
I think it was, the UK as well. All represented on that. So yeah, no, Worlds Collide would be perfect.
That's when we saw Undisputed Era versus Imperium.
Yes.
Honestly, for Worlds Collide, if they do that, give me Moose versus Trick Williams. Give me Mustafa Ali versus Wesley.
That would be great. Or would be even bigger. Wesley versus Trey Miguel, former Rascal members. But then you know what else you would need on that show? All Ego.
Zachary Wentz.
No, All Ego Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander.
How'd that work? Oh yeah, the North.
Yeah, former tag partners, the North. You have former best friends facing each other. One guy's now in WWE.
Then would you do?
Go for it.
Then would you do something different with Jordan Grace then?
Well, I don't know. It just depends on when they do it and where everything. Heck, I still say there's a slight chance Jordan Grace wins against Roxanne Perez. I think there's a slight chance Jordan Grace wins, and then that is Roxanne going to the main roster. Drop the title just to Jordan because nobody would expect it, and then she can at the next show or on an episode of NXT or whatever do like a special NXT where she loses the title to somebody else, like maybe like a Fallon Henley or a Thea Hale or someone like that. But I think maybe Jordan Grace should win the title for the shock factor.
So you don't think they're gonna have her hold the belt till like Heat Wave, like, and have her lose against Julia?
That's a tough one because is Julia really working that show? Some people think she is, and some people think she's not. That's the big thing. It's like, is she even really working that show? Especially now that she's injured with a broken wrist, which according to Dave Meltzer, she wasn't going to get the surgery, but WWE advised her that it was probably better for her to get the surgery than not. So, I don't know. And she did state in an interview with Tokyo Sport that she was told that if she gets the surgery, that's the quickest way she can heal. It would take her longer to just let it heal on its own. But yeah, I don't know. Like Roxanne and Julia would be a great match. So would Jordan Grace to Julia, even though, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of want to see Jordan win it for the shock factor because nobody would expect it.
Have her hold 2 world titles.
Yep. And then not even hold it long, just for maybe a couple weeks or a month of that.
Who would beat her though? Like, I don't even know anyone besides Roxanne Perez.
Let's see who's on the NXT roster. I know we're getting off track here for a second, but who's on the NXT roster real fast? NXT. If she was cleared, I'd say Cora Jade. Maybe a Fallon Henley. They want to push her that route.
Sol Ruka.
I could see Sol Ruka winning that North American title, actually. Winning the ladder match. I could see her winning the ladder match.
I think she should win the ladder match.
Yeah, the only one I could really see. I mean, you do still have Meiko Satomura on the roster.
I thought, isn't she like technically a coach now?
I have no clue. Lola Vice? Maybe Lola beats Shayna and then wants to go after the NXT Women's title?
Maybe.
So the ones I see that are cleared and healthy.
Or Michin if they still want to do stuff in NXT.
Why not? That'd be a good idea. I didn't think about that one. Yeah, Michin, Fallon Henley, or Lola Vice.
I got it. Tegan Knox.
Fuck it, Natty. In Canada.
Nah, I don't think the fans would like. I mean, Canadian fans would like it, but I don't know.
Natty has said before she wants to work with match with Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
There you go. If you want to get a main roster star, Natty. As far as Dynamite does go, Sir Strickland's in the back with Prince Nana. He said that they should call him Stevie Wonder, as no one can see him in the ring. I don't know. I think, whatever. Strickland said that he took down another legend at Double or Nothing, and also returned the favor to Killswitch earlier tonight. Well, what other legend? Another legend. What other legend did he beat? Samoa Joe? Is that what he's talking about? Joe, the other legend? Because it's like, Paige ain't considered a legend yet. Joe, a little bit. Christian, yes. I don't know. He said that he returned the favor to Killswitch earlier tonight. Strickland then said that he's looking forward to seeing who his next competitor, challenger is going to be. Whose house is it? Swerve's house. So then this is when they
Samoa Joe's like an indie legend.
Well, I mean, Samoa Joe's been around for over 20 years. Almost 25 years now.
I mean, I don't know go as far as considering him a legend per se.
A little bit.
I mean, a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be.
Joe's one of those guys where he's done like
everything,
everywhere.
I don't consider somebody a legend per se until they've at least retired. Now, granted, Christian's wrestling again, but he was retired for a long time. He had a long career in WWE and then had to retire. So, but if you want to say if Christian's a legend, then Joe, 100% legend status. If Christian is.
I wonder how much longer Christian will wrestle.
I feel like I would have said maybe one more year, and they end with him and Copeland as tag team champions in AEW, and then they retire. But now with Copeland's injury, I have no clue. But I always thought whenever him and Adam Copeland are going to retire, they retire together as tag team champions in AEW, and they get that one run.
Yeah, I think Copeland I think his like run as a wrestler in WWE is probably done.
Copeland?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll never go back to WWE as a wrestler. No. He literally said they had nothing for me after my last run when I came back. I did everything that I could have done then.
Yeah.
So, see a graphic saying that MJF is returning last week. We then go to the back, and Roosh wants to face MJF. He said, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. And my question was, when did he mess with the bull?
Yeah, I was kind of confused by that.
I didn't understand this at all. It was more hot shot, crappy, what the hell, out of nowhere booking. So we then go to our main event match. I didn't even realize this was the main event. Like the show felt so rushed to me that by the time we got to this match, I was just like, okay, we're still going. What's next? And I'm like, oh wait, there is nothing next. Like that's how rushed and quick this show felt to me. Like this review is probably gonna go as long as that show went. Anyways, so we had the Casino Gauntlet match, and I'm happy that we let this Gauntlet match actually play out. It was long, but the last Casino Gauntlet match, it was kind of short and felt rushed. This one didn't feel as rushed, which I will appreciate, because the last one, it's like, we have 20-something guys, we have all these guys that are going to be in this match, and then like not even half of them were in the match. But they had to rush this because they didn't have a lot of time. They went over in an overrun to where they didn't even tell us there was an overrun. They just went into the overrun. That's how like far through this went. Also, the big give says Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons is out with a knee injury. She ain't coming back anytime soon.
You see, she's always injured.
Yeah, which is not good.
Yeah.
So Switchblade Jay White and Pac started everything off as the first two entrants, as Pac wasted no time seeking revenge on what happened at Double or Nothing, hitting a spinning dive outside and a shotgun dropkick back inside. White got off some offense, and then Mystico would run out to be the next entrant number 3. There's a fast sequence of events with him and Pac that sent him to the floor with White as Mystico hit a dive from the top. Things went to a commercial break. Come back from the break, and immediately out comes Will Ospreay. Ospreay hits the Pip Cheerio on Mystico before having an intense face-off with Jay White. The crowd was on fire for Will Ospreay, who hit a corkscrew kick, but Pac nearly slid in and stole the pin with a roll-up for a 2. Pac and Ospreay then had a face-off with Mystico flying in off the top rope and hitting a La Mystica on Ospreay. Before Ospreay could tap out, though, Shota Umino would enter. Shooter made his way out to Shooter Chance. Umino slugged it out with Mystico as Excalibur put over John Moxley as his mentor. There was some fast offense here with Ospreay and Umino, who hit a series of flashy slingshot DDTs for a 2. Claudio Castagnoli was number 6, and White ran for some higher ground, throwing guys in the way, and Castagnoli ran into him instead. That was kind of short-lived. Claudio then caught White with a giant swing in the ring. Go to another break. We see the giant swing during the break, and then when we come back, Leo Rush makes his way out to the ring. Leo Rush is out here, number 7. He charged right at Claudio. Rush and Umino then had some trade-off here in a misdirect attempt, but both ran right into Claudio, who stood tall before Orange Cassidy would then come out at number 8. Cassidy then blocked the suplex and do a stun dog millionaire, and then a spinning DDT on Castagnoli as Cassidy stumbled for a bit. Orange tried to get to his feet when Ospreay wound up trying to go for the hidden blade. He hesitated, though. White then flew in with a sleeper suplex and a Uranagi, taking out both White and Cassidy. Cassidy did fight off a Blade Runner, when out would come Hechicero, number 9. Hechicero would come out, and I think someone in the crowd yelled, "Hey there, Cheryl." Trying to be funny. Hechicero then ran a wild. He did a wheelbarrow on Will Ospreay before almost rolling up Cassidy for a 2. Mystico then cut him off with a hop rope Hurricane Rana as the match picked up ahead of steam before a series of dives. Umino then hit a pump knee on Cassidy, who responded with an orange punch. Meanwhile, Pac tried a black arrow on White, but just like that Double or Nothing, Juice ran out and crotched him on the top rope. White then ran off. Juice then ran off with White wanting the Blade Runner on Cassidy, but Ospreay flew in with the hidden blade, Stormbreaker attempt, which was countered by Cassidy into a snap runner for a 2. Ospreay then answered back with an Os Cutter and picked up the victory to become the new challenger for the AEW World title at Forbidden Door. So, post-match, Swerve comes out, walks down to the ring with Prince Nana. Him and Ospreay go face-to-face in the middle of the ring. They tell us this is our main event for Forbidden Door, and the show goes off the air. What do you think of all this? The match itself, fun match. Too much to really keep control of as far as like writing notes. But yeah, Ospreay, Swerve, only one title apparently on the line, Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I was kind of confused by like a lot of the stuff going on in the match.
Also, Victor Rodriguez with a super chat. He says this was the MJF Roosh thing. Thank you for clarifying this. I forgot about this. He said that was a reference to when MJF tried to give Roosh a briefcase to take out Wardlow, meaning a briefcase of money. Gotcha. Okay, that's where this goes all the way back to like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
And they're bringing this up just now.
Yep. But anyways, what do you think of the match itself?
I mean, match was okay. A lot of stuff going on. I mean, why are they doing like Will Ospreay versus Swerve like at Forbidden Door like now? It would mean a much bigger deal if they did this match at All In.
Yep. As your biggest main event of the year. Like Swerve is your hottest baby face, but Will Ospreay's right there with them, and then we're just doing it Forbidden Door.
It's like that's like, well, Swerve has to win. No,
not necessarily.
I meant to say Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
But that's like Will Ospreay has to win.
Because I do not. Go for it.
Because like if Will Ospreay's gonna win the AEW World Title, it needs to be at Forbidden Door. At All In. So here's meaning like a much bigger deal.
Here's my question to you then: does he lose and then earn his way back to getting a shot at All In?
He would have to enter
3 months later.
Owen Hart tournament because he would have to enter the Owen Hart tournament.
Oh yeah, you're right. And he's not going to enter the Owen Hart tournament because the Owen Hart tournament's most likely going to start before the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Yeah, nope, never mind. Right. Never mind. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, you're right on that one. Well, I don't know where the hell this leads to. I mean, Swerve, I guess, has got to drop that belt to Will Ospreay.
Unless they go the route of like one of the competitors in the finals is hurt, then Will Ospreay automatically takes his spot. I don't know.
That would be dumb as shit because it's like, no, you give it to somebody who was already in the tournament.
No, who wasn't in the tournament.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do an injury angle and you need a fill-in, you give it to somebody else from the tournament, like the person that they beat or something. You know, like if say Juice Robinson beats Pac to make the finals, and then Juice gets hurt, Pac now makes the finals. That would make the most sense on that one.
Or they could do a part where they have like everyone in a battle royal or something.
Hold on, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to. April, May. Holy crap. So Joe only held the AEW championship for 3 months. Swerve, if he drops the title to Will Ospreay, would have only held the title for 3 months. Is Tony Khan now on a 3-month title run kick?
Probably.
So, I don't know. We'll see. But with that was everything that did take place on AEW Dynamite. The poll is live on Twitch if you want to go vote over there. Also, as far as Rampage does go, Konosuke Takeshita will take on Penta El Zero Miedo. The winner moves on to the TNT title ladder match at Forbidden Door. Who do you got there? Takeshita or Penta for the ladder, qualifying for the ladder match?
Probably Takeshita.
That's what I would think too. We also do the set. Go for it.
Because Penta can't really work Forbidden Door because he's
he can't.
A AAA guy.
You're right.
That's why, like, he was one of the guys that kept complaining, like, I can't work Forbidden Door.
Yep. So as far as the rest of the stuff for Rampage, we do know that Satnam Singh will be in action. Timeless Tony Storm will take on Viva Van in an eliminator match, and Kyle O'Reilly's in action. Speaking of Kyle O'Reilly, he will also challenge for the International Championship against Will Ospreay Saturday on Collision. And then next week, MJF returns, and Ryan May will go one-on-one with Saraya because the match couldn't happen tonight because they ran out of time. As far as the polls do go, as far as the threads poll, 67% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 44% thought the show was just all right, 22%, read this wrong, 44% thought the show was just all right, 33% didn't like the show, and 22% did like the show. More people didn't like the show than did. As far as the YouTube live poll, community poll does go, 70% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 15% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube live poll, 64% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 16% didn't like it. And finally, the community or the Twitch poll. Everybody that voted thought it was just all right. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at PetGear_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, we'll be back live on Friday following Friday Night SmackDown. With that, if we do, have anything else regarding why they're doing this match of Forbidden Door, we will keep you guys informed. Because that's the biggest blunder of this whole show. Why is it Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland? With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.